Nicolas Kim Coppola was born on January 7, 1964 in Long Beach, California, to August Coppola, a literature professor, and Joy Vogelsang, a dancer and choreographer. Now 61 years old, this enigmatic actor currently resides in a Gothic-inspired mansion in Las Vegas, Nevada, sharing the unconventional home with his fifth wife, Rico Shibata, their young daughter, August, and a menagerie of exotic pets, including a monitor lizard he calls his Black Dragon, and a foul-mouthed crow named Hugin. But here's something that will blow your mind. Did you know that Nicolas Cage isn't actually his real name? This Hollywood rebel was born Nicolas Kim Coppola. Yes, that Coppola family. He's the nephew of legendary director Francis Ford Coppola, who gave us the Godfather trilogy, and cousin to Sofia Coppola. Yet at just 15, when he tried to convince his uncle to give him a screen test, declaring, "I'll show you acting," he was met with silence in the car. By that point, Coppola had already directed Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro. Determined to make his own reputation without the shadow of nepotism, he deliberately changed his name to Nicolas Cage, inspired by Marvel superhero Luke Cage and avant-garde composer John Cage. His film debut came in 1982 with a minor role in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, though most of his scenes were cut. His experience on set was marred by cast members endlessly quoting his uncle's films, which only reinforced his decision to distance himself from the Coppola name. His breakthrough arrived with 1983's Valley Girl, a Romeo and Juliet-inspired romantic comedy where he played a punk rocker who falls for the titular Valley Girl. The cult classic established him as a unique screen presence, someone willing to take unconventional risks. Throughout the late 80s and early 90s, he carved out a niche as Hollywood's premier character actor, with memorable performances in Raising Arizona, Moonstruck alongside Cher, and Wild at Heart for David Lynch. The role that changed. Everything came in 1995 with Leaving Las Vegas, where he portrayed a self-destructive alcoholic writer. His fearless, committed performance earned him an Academy Award for Best Actor, transforming him from quirky character actor to legitimate Hollywood star. Studios suddenly saw him as bankable leading man material, and the offers began pouring. In the late 90s marked Cage's transition into big-budget action stardom. The Rock paired him with Sean Connery, Con Air put him on a plane full of convicts, and Face Off saw him literally switching faces with John Travolta. These explosive thrillers made him one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors, reportedly earning $20 million per film at his peak. By 2009, he was pulling in $40 million annually, placing him among the industry's top earners. But success brought its own demons. Cage embarked on what can only be described as the most bizarre spending spree in Hollywood history. At his peak, he owned 15 properties across America and Europe, including a private island in the Bahamas, medieval castles in England and Germany, a 24,000-square-foot mansion in Rhode Island, and multiple homes in Las Vegas. And New Orleans. His shopping list read like the inventory of an eccentric billionaire. A pyramid-shaped tomb, shrunken heads, a collection of Rolls Royces, dinosaur skulls, and even a pet octopus. The most infamous purchase was a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull he bought for $276,000 after outbidding Leonardo DiCaprio at auction. The skull later turned out to be stolen from Mongolia, forcing Cage to return it to the government. His property portfolio included genuinely haunted houses, including one in New Orleans' French Quarter that had once belonged to vampire novelist Anne Rice. The 2008 real estate crash brought his empire crashing down. Over-leveraged and drowning in debt, Cage faced foreclosure on multiple properties. The IRS came calling for $6.3 million in back taxes. Unlike many celebrities in similar situations, Cage refused to declare bankruptcy, instead choosing to work his way out of debt through sheer volume of films. What followed was a prolific period that some critics dismissed as career suicide, but which Cage approached with characteristic intensity. He appeared in dozens of direct-to-video films, action thrillers, and horror movies, sometimes making 5 films in a single year. While the projects varied wildly in quality, Cage brought his full commitment to each role, from playing a demonically possessed motorcyclist in Ghost Rider to a man trapped in an arcade with murderous animatronics in Willy's Wonderland. His personal life during this period was equally turbulent. He married 5 times, including a 4-day marriage to makeup artist Erica Koike that he immediately sought to annul, and a famously brief union with Lisa Marie Presley that lasted just 107 days. Through it all, he maintained his reputation as one of Hollywood's most generous and eccentric figures, known for his method acting extremes and genuine kindness to fans and crew members. The unexpected happened in 2021 when Cage experienced a remarkable career renaissance. His performance in the indie drama Pig, where he played a truffle hunter searching for his stolen pig, reminded critics and audiences of his extraordinary range as a dramatic actor. The film, made for just $3 million, earned universal critical acclaim and positioned Cage for a comeback many thought impossible. This resurgence continued with The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he played a fictional version of himself and Dream Scenario, proving that his appeal transcended the meme culture that had grown around his more outrageous performances. Directors who had grown up watching his films suddenly wanted to work with him, and his asking price began climbing back toward respectable levels. Today, Nicolas Cage stands as one of cinema's most fascinating paradoxes. He's simultaneously an Oscar-winning dramatic actor and the king of internet memes, a man who lost a fortune on dinosaur skulls, yet worked tirelessly to pay back every debt without declaring bankruptcy. His Las Vegas mansion, complete with a 2-story Gothic library and exotic pets, perfectly captures his aesthetic. Part serious artist, part eccentric millionaire, wholly committed to his vision of what life should be. At 61, he continues working at a pace that would exhaust actors half his age, with upcoming projects including Lords of War, a sequel to his 2005 arms dealer drama, and various horror and thriller projects that promise to showcase both sides of his artistic personality. His influence on a generation of actors who grew up watching his films cannot be overstated, proving that sometimes the most unconventional paths lead to the most lasting legacies. Nicolas Cage transformed himself from a privileged Coppola nephew into something entirely his own creation, an actor who refused to be categorized, a star who chose artistic risks over safe choices, and ultimately, a Hollywood legend who proved that authenticity, however strange, always finds its audience.